Chapter 3. Let There Be Light. We've been to the beginning of time, the creation of physics and chemistry. Now we will see how our little baby universe opens its eyes for the first time. Before we begin, it's essential that you understand the meaning of a simple concept: emergence through rising complexity. In other words, 1 + 1 is greater than 2. This may not make any sense, but it's a concept that holds true now and will a billion years into the future. It's a concept that unifies every single aspect of existence we know of today. Basically, it's when two or more simple things combine to create something more complex than its individual parts. For example, emergence through rising complexity is the reason why sometimes underdogs are the surprising victors in sports. Some teams emerge as the best, even though adding the skill level of each individual player may not make it seem like it. It's also the reason why stuff exists in the first place. You see, the universe is like a giant role-playing video game, and the resources you need to build anything are called elements. No elements, no nothing. But like we saw before, at the birth of the universe there were only two elements, helium and hydrogen. So how did two elements become the 100 or so we know of today? Well, as the universe continued to expand, the temperature continued to drop, allowing no new elements to form. All there was in the emptiness of space was hydrogen and helium atoms, and helium being an inert gas, meaning unreactive. That's all there would have been. But this all changed with those little quantum fluctuations we spoke about earlier. These little pockets of matter and energy became incredibly dense as the hydrogen and helium began clumping together because of gravity. And as time passed, these clumps became bigger and bigger. Gradually, the pressure increased and the temperature got so high that the atoms started colliding so fast they eventually fused together. This resulted in the first heavier elements being formed and lots of energy being given off as light and heat. And like that, the first stars lit up the night sky. This is the first example of emergence through rising complexity. The simple elements of helium and hydrogen fusing to create great glowing balls of fire. This is also the birthplace of an element so vital to all life that without it, approximately more than 90% of all molecular combinations would not exist. Later in this course, we will go over how carbon was the reason life emerged and how it enabled us as humans to dominate this planet. Even though stars are nowhere near the level of complexity we find in other objects like our brain, it was the foundation that the next 13.8 billion years absolutely needed for any of it to have happened.